Hi, this is Chris Bosch, and you're listening to Animal House Radio with Aaron and Dr. Mike.
So, Bob, we're going to take a phone call right now from someone in Edmonton who wants to talk to you. Big fan, and as well, she's got an opinion on this. We're going to talk to Sharon. Sharon, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Sharon. How are you? You may want to turn down your volume a little bit because we're getting some feedback on your line, so I'm not sure we're going to fix that over there. Sharon, you're on the line with Bob Barker on Animal House Radio.
How are you, Bob?
I'm fine, Karen. Thank you for calling.
No worries. You had mentioned in one of your interviews that you were going to have a specialist come to Edmonton. Are you still going to do that?
Yes, I just explained to Aaron that Denise Desfontaine, who is there at the zoo, has agreed that Ed Stewart, who's one of the directors of Paws Sanctuary, and his chief veterinarian are coming up there, and I think they've set the date now for March 8th, and they'll look Lucy over and see just what her condition is.
Now, see, the story we're getting here in Edmonton is that no effort has been made for this Ed to come at all. So we're getting a mixed story here on this side.
You're getting a mixed story?
Yes.
Yeah, like...
What story are you hearing that...
They're basically saying that nothing has been set in stone. There's been no communication to have Ed come out this way.
Well, I can't understand that because, as far as I know, Ed Stewart's packing.
Well, time will tell on that one.
This councilwoman, Linda Sloan, suggested that I ask Ed to call, and I'm going to check the name again just to be sure that I have everything right, to call Denise, what's her last, I said it once, and I think I said it correctly. It's either Desfontaine or Lefontaine. In any event, she agreed with Ed Stewart that he could come up there and look this elephant over. And he was going to bring his chief veterinarian with him. And the last I heard, in fact, there was a message for me today. I've been busy all day and I've been gone, but there was a message that they were going up there on March 8th.
Okay,
so what can I tell you?
Yeah.
So, Sharon, we're going to look...
At the zoo, if they're telling you otherwise, why, I don't know. I have no answer to that.
I think it's more the media that's saying, that no efforts have been made. At this point, it's hard to say. But, I mean, if it turns out she is fit to travel, what do you have to do in order to get her out of Edmonton?
Well, we're both talking, and I don't know what either one of us said.
You both talked over each other there. Yeah, we're sorry. We're getting a little bit of a miss across on the lines here. Sharon, thank you so much for your phone call, and we'll talk to you a little bit later, Sharon. So thank you so much for that.
Okay.
Back to what Sharon's point was, is she's saying it's pretty much, she thinks it's something to do with the media, and the media is basically saying, you know what, this stuff is not happening. In Edmonton right now, she said that that right now through the media they're hearing that nothing's happening right now with Lucy.
Well, nothing's happening right now. No, I think Ed's coming up there March 8th. That's
right.
what I understand.
Yeah. So,
I don't think that...
It's a big mess. Obviously this situation, there's a lot of communication that's not being done correctly. And in the process of this, we have an innocent elephant here who, what you're saying, is suffering.
That's right.
You don't want anybody suffering. I'm going to read a couple of emails that I have from you, and I got to warn you, these are some people that have pros and cons to this. So I'm just letting you know this, but I'm sure you're no stranger to this stuff. Marilyn writes, I think Bob Barker should mind his own business since the elephants are I've seen elephants at circuses, and I was sure that they've been mistreated, and I've never gone back to a circus.
Good for her.
Yeah, and Bob, she says, the bottom line is this is our zoo, and nobody should give their opinion except us. Yeah. Bobby, you're still getting them going crazy.
Well,
yeah.
She has a right to her own opinion,
right.
But
exactly.
I love animals, and I try to help them in every state in the union, and I helped them in Canada too. We saved Maggie from the zoo in Anchorage, and if we can, we're going to save Lucy too.
Yeah,
right.
no, you're doing. And we have some other comments. Let's pretend that humans are animals and animals are humans. Do you think animals would keep us in cages? We do not have anything to offer. Let Lucy spend her last few days in life in an environment that she will enjoy. That's from Gary in Edmonton as well. Aaron,
Gary makes sense.
Yeah.
This animal has been there all these years, and if she can have a few years of the type of life that nature intended, I think that she should have it.
Just
She's
like that
earned
other elephant that you were talking about, the one that went back to California, said is living now a wonderful life.
Yeah. That's right.
You know, that's great.
Aaron writes, I would never take my children to the Edmonton Zoo to see an animal in captivity. I would rather my children not see Lucy at all, or to see her like that. Lucy would be happy with other elephants in a room to run. I do hope the city will move Lucy to an appropriate facility, even if it's in the United States.
There is a person who makes sense.
Right.
That's exactly right on the nose.
Yeah, and finally, I'd let hell freeze over before I'd ever support the zoo. Little do you know, some of you have already taken action. Some of us have already taken action, and that in the event you missed the point of the article, I'll reiterate for you. It dealt with moving an elephant by the name of Lucy to a sanctuary for elephants. Not a death sentence, a peaceful sanctuary where she'd be able to interact and bond with other elephants because that's inherent in the elephant DNA.
Now, these people, they're right on.
Yeah.
And they should be writing letters to the radio stations and the television stations and the newspapers. They should be boycotting the zoo. They should be picketing the zoo. They should make the zoo come to understand that it's a case of the old line, everybody's out of step except Johnny.
Right.
All the fine zoos are closing their elephant exhibits, and here this zoo in Edmonton is insisting on continuing to torture that poor elephant at that little zoo.
Right.
It's utterly ridiculous.
In Edmonton, it's minus 30 up there. I mean, it's pretty
It's
cold.
cold.
In Edmonton.
Well, sure, it's cold.
Mike's going to read you.
I just want to read you something that the Edmonton City wrote us. It was just they didn't want to get on the line, but they wrote their position. And one of the things they wrote here is that Lucy has this respiratory problem. They believe that her respiratory challenge is caused by a malpositioned molar. And this molar is believed to be pressing on her sinus area, causing breathing challenges, which become extreme when she is stressed. Now, I don't know about you, but as soon as I read that, become extreme when she is stressed, why is she stressed? That sort of bugs me. Does that sort of, I don't know, strike a chord with you, Bob?
Well, the elephant
why would she be stressed?
It probably is added to the stress. I mean,
Right.
this molar might add to the stress, but the elephant is going to be stressed even if it were in good health, which
Right.
I don't believe it is.
Right.
It's going to be stressed from being there alone, day in and day out, year after year,
Yeah.
and being there in the Canadian winters with arthritis
Yeah.
and having an infection in its feet and all of the other things wrong with it. In one paragraph of a letter I got, they were telling me how healthy she is, and then later in the letter she can't be moved because of she's too ill. Right. What is she? Is she too ill to be moved, or is she healthy and living
So you'll leave her
wonderful
alone.
life?
Yeah.
Make up your mind.
We got and hopefully and by March 8th when Ed goes down there, we're going to start hopefully following up on this story, and we want to be part of the media that makes sure that Lucy's taken care of and that Lucy finds the best possible home that she can have, something fitting for her.
There are two sanctuaries and both have agreed that they will take her if we can get her out of there.
Yeah.
One I know all about. That's Paws up here in Northern California.
Yeah.
I've helped get other elephants there, and I've been up there myself several times. I've seen the elephants. I've seen how they live, and it's wonderful.
Right.
There's another one in Tennessee.
Right.
Now, I haven't visited that one, but I've heard wonderful things about it, and I've seen literature that would lead me to believe that too would be a good home for her.
Yeah.
Either or the other. But let's get her out of there.
Let's get her out of there. We're going to follow this up. We're going to follow it up, and hopefully when we have a conclusion to the story, when Lucy goes to the Pause and Lucy's out of there and she's in a sanctuary, we're going to
break it again about good times.
We're going to bring it on over here. And you know what, Bob? When are you going to come to Toronto? I'm gonna send you a plane ticket and a hotel. I'm going to put you up in the Intercontinental Hotel. You're going to come stay here. And you know what my dream has always been, Bob?
What's that?
To go to the zoo with you, where there's a good zoo, where there's no animals being held in captivity, and it's just so much open space.
Well, I'm opposed to all zoos.
Okay, so we're not going to go to the zoo.
But all of the animals suffer in zoos.
Right.
But no animal suffers as much, I don't think,
as
the elephant.
Yeah, of course.
Because
it's the worst.
In the wild, they walk as much as 50 miles a day.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And I understand that this poor Lucy has very little room to even move around.
Yeah.